Again. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Drive with Mario Smith. Today we have an action-packed show for you, full of action, adventure, and excitement. And those things. It is storming because, as you can see, I'm at the other place. It is storming in Chicago. Um, so there's no remote today, but we'll be at the promontory on Friday uh, for you and for me. More for me than for you, but for you. Joining me on this venture today from Portland, Oregon, is my man Jay Bliss. What's up, Bliss?
Not much. How you doing?
Hey, brother. What's happening?
Nothing.
Yeah,
Just hanging out.
that's kind of chilling.
I am currently icing my knees. So
Yeah, you text me. You said you were exercising or something.
yeah, I'm trying to get back into a little better shape from, I don't know, the pandemic.
Oh, okay. Who am I to judge? You don't want to know what's going on under this shirt. It is not pleasant. Although, in the right color, like black, can't tell. I'm just a slim, trim old man.
I mean, a lot of this is brought on by my physical therapy as well.
With the knee,
so.
yeah.
Yeah. So
You'll be fine. You're young. You're what, 12, 13 years old? You'll be fine. I
almost.
don't know how you have 4 kids with being 13, but God bless you. That's a pretty independent little guy there. If you're 13 years old, you got a wife and children. That would be wild. Not, but judging on the stories that we have read over the past 3 months, nothing is impossible. So I imagine there's a 13-year-old somewhere running a house.
I knew a girl in high school that was married. Yeah. She was a Mexican girl, and she had one child. She was
Whoa.
married and was 16.
Well, there's no chance in hell she's watching. There was a girl that I was in elementary school with that was pregnant in 8th grade. It was like we lived in the frontier land where a child was having a baby. It was not lost upon any of us that this child was having a baby. Yeah, it was pretty wild. I could say this for my era. I can't really speak for everyone else's. My era, we all looked grown up. You know what I mean? I got friends that had beards in 7th grade, and I'm not making it up. And it's like, damn, son, you're. I know how old you are. You have a full beard. Yeah. So I'm not surprised by that. Being married in high school, though, she's a trooper. So what class reunion would you, if in fact this woman is still married to this person, you would imagine she's been married 20-something years?
So I was 16, so 22 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's young.
Yeah, because I 20 years out of high school in June for me. So yeah, that would have been.
She could totally end that marriage and still be married for 22 more years at the least to someone else.
Yeah.
Here we go. Softly Smacked Salamander is checking in. My friend and co-host of Who You Got, Michael Lockett, is in the building. So yeah, man, I think I told you this story, maybe not. I almost got married, and I went to the jeweler, Eddie Ford Jewelers, famous jeweler here in Chicago. He did Michael Jordan's rings. He's like the celebrity jeweler of the city. One of the few black jewelers in Chicago on Jewelers Row. When you come here, I'll explain the whole thing, but just real brief. Jewelers Row is downtown. It's on a street called Wabash, and it's literally a whole street of nothing but jewelers. And I go to Eddie Ford, and I'm telling him the story about how I met this young lady, blah, blah, blah. We get married. I'm helping take care of the kid. And he goes, all right, well, let me put this ring on you. And he sizes me up, and then he goes, well, what are you looking at? And I just pointed at a ring, and I go, that one. And it was like he had put the Green Lantern ring on me. I passed out.
Jesus.
I know. I passed right out on the floor. My best friend was like, I guess, like, wake up. and I come to, and I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, you just passed out. Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I guess. But what happened? I looked at the ring again and I was like, oh my God, that's a beautiful ring. It was beautiful, but I just got caught up in the idea that I was going to, but then we didn't end up getting married. So she might be watching, so I'm not going to say any more, but we didn't get married. And I don't even think she knows until now that that's a thing, that I almost left the earth because of my love for her. But you know, hey man, tell your friend if you ever catch up with her, to that guy she's with now, beat it and start a new one and see if she can do 22 more years. That would be wild. Wouldn't that be wild to be married twice for 22 years in your life?
That would be pretty crazy.
Crazy. That is insane. Well, as you can see, Bliss, I'm not at the promontory today, but Friday we'll do it Friday.
Cool.
Yeah. And I looked back at both of those shows from this past week, and again, thank you to the folks at the promontory. It looked really good. This isn't so bad today, though.
No, it's good. Always good to be home.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like I hate it here. I love it. I was enjoying doing that over there. It gave me something to do. It gave me a chance to walk out my house. But today, it's nothing happening. I wish I could show you guys. It is a straight up monsoon. Every couple of minutes, it's pouring down. Right? So I said I'd stay at Studio One today and not do it. First, welcome to everybody that's watching us on Backchannel and watching us on YouTube and checking us out on your Amazon supported devices. We appreciate that. Let's go over some of these names. Now, he's supposed to be in the studio with you, but Milo, Average Horse, Bashful Oyster, Karimus, Savory Cat, Witty Deer, London, Minor Lion, and Stacy, of course, in Texas. Savory Cat's in New York, Bashful Oysters in Arkansas, Milo's at your house, listen. Witty Deer is in California. And we thank all of you all for joining us today on the drive. I want to put you up on game about our schedule at backchannel.tv beginning on April the 6th. Haley and Allison's Good Morning will start at 6 a.m. Eastern time to lead us off. All these times will be Eastern, by the way. To start our broadcast day, lead us off, get the ball rolling, setting it up for Live Every Day with Liv Harrison at 8 a.m. Eastern. And then at 9 a.m. Eastern on Tuesdays and Thursdays, it'll be Kate and Will. And Will is a great man, and Kate is a wonderful woman. At 10 a.m. until noon, it'll be Get On Up with our buddies Jan and Renee. Saw their show today. Good show today. Those two are awesome. I love their show. Then at noon, the Anthony Davis show, except for on Wednesdays, because it's the Word of the Day quiz, which is really dope, and you should watch that. Both of those shows. And then at 2 Eastern, your pal Hal, my buddy Hal Rudnick, and the affable and wonderful Travis is also a part of that show. And then it's me and Bliss on the drive, starting at 4 p.m. Don't forget to leave us a review at backchannel.tv because we'd love to hear from you and hear what you're thinking about the show. Maybe we'll try to get around to some of those on Friday. I'm hereby declaring Friday Read Review Day. That gives everybody a whole week. File your complaints, state your grievances. We'll read them all on Friday. Is there anything else that I'm doing? Let me check one more time just to see what else is going on. Hello, Witty Deer. What's up, Complex Cougar? I don't even want to know. You know, when you see the word cougar, that's how messed up this country is now. At least how messed up I am in the country. Complex cougar, that could mean a lot of different things. I don't even want to explore it. Never mind. Let's go over some headlines. Bruce Willis is stepping away from acting after diagnosis of aphasia, a condition that causes loss of the ability to understand or express speech, his family announced earlier today. In a statement posted on Willis's Instagram page, the 67-year-old actor's family said Willis was recently diagnosed with aphasia and that it is impacting his cognitive abilities. Quote, as a result of this and with much consideration, Bruce is stepping away from the career that has meant so much to him, read the statement signed by Willis's wife, Emma Hemming Willis, his ex-wife, Demi Moore, and his 5 children, Rumer, Scout, Tallulah, Mabel, and Evelyn. We are moving through this as a strong family unit and wanted to bring his fans in because we know how much he means to you as you do to him, they said. As Bruce always says, live it up and together we plan to do just that. That's wow. And also, I think we'll be able to talk about it a little bit later. The lead singer of The Wanted, Tom Parker, died today from a brain tumor. He was 33 years old. And final headline: astronomers have discovered the farthest star yet, a super hot, super bright giant that formed nearly 13 billion years ago at the dawn of the cosmos. But this luminous blue star is long gone, so massive that it almost certainly exploded into bits just a few million years after emerging. Its swift demise makes it all the more incredible that an international team spotted it with observations by the Hubble Space Telescope. It takes eons for light emitted from distant stars to reach us. Quote, we're seeing the star as it was about 12.8 billion years ago, which puts it about 900 million years after the Big Bang, said astronomer Brian Welch, a doctoral student at Johns Hopkins University and lead author of the study appearing in Wednesday's journal Nature. We definitely just got lucky. He nicknamed it Earendel, an Old English name which means morning star or rising light, a fitting name for a star that we have observed in a time often referred to as cosmic dawn. And those are the headlines at this hour. That's horrible news about Bruce Willis. We'll talk about that in the entertainment report. I'm pretty sure we will. Thank you to everybody that's checking out the show on Backchannel.tv, on YouTube, and on your Amazon supported devices. When we come back, we'll have these. And thank you also to Softly Smacked Salamander. When we come back, we'll have the stories from around the world and much, much more. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported devices. And I promise, we will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It's The Drive. I don't know what kind of morning you guys had. The Will Smith fallout continues to dominate a lot of the news line. I'm trying to not do all of it. We'll cover most of it. It is amazing, though, how this is starting to take a turn in some respects. There's talk of expelling him from the Academy, letting him keep the award. That's so many things. Chris Rock's brother said something, and it's just getting out of control. That just shows the cultural divide that is still prevalent in every aspect of all of it here in America. It is it's kind of depressing, but I try not to go through that. And besides your exercise this morning, Bliss, your day's been going well?
Yeah, it's been good.
Because I'm not going to spoil it with any crap. I got none but good news for the people.
That's good.
Yeah, that's not true. But I'm going to I'm going to try to have good news.
I was going to say, good luck with that.
Nah, it's not happening. We are in the upside down, brother. It's just a good thing that we can keep our composure here in our little part of the universe. That's wild with the Tubble. There you go. Add one more. That's why with the Hubble that they saw. That story is crazy. What a world! And then I saw on our exit there. I have a rocket ship now too. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate you. You're looking out for me.
We do a lot of space stories when they come up, so I figured why not a space theme break.
You know, man, I'm some kind of a nut about science. I'm some kind of a nut. I really like science, and I like talking about stuff like that. That has always fascinated me. That's why I got this telescope that I can't get outside to use because it has not been nice one night since I bought it. It's like cloudy for the last month at night. Just impossible to see. Or I can't go on my balcony at night because it's super cold or it's raining. Um, but I like that kind of stuff, man. When I
Me
saw
too.
the thing about the Hubble, I'm like, oh, word, okay. That's why NASA it gets millions and billions of dollars from the government to do so. It's a government agency. Do that. There's talk of I think we're going to talk about it today too. A space hotel.
Yeah.
Mm, mm, I don't know. Mm, I just have a feeling, man. I don't want to. I don't know if you are familiar with this Bugs Bunny cartoon from 1,000 years ago, where Bugs Bunny flies to the moon and he's alone on, or he thinks he's alone on the moon. I don't want them to be like, "All right, space hotel people, have a great time," and then just like run and leave. And I'm like, "Damn, I'm on the
There's
moon."
like it's all like a big setup to get
It's like a
rid of
moon
people.
prison.
Like there is no justice system up here.
Right.
Just
No,
right here.
just go
Come
for it.
vacation to the moon. We'll bring you back.
Oh yeah, hey, we're gonna take you guys to the moon. It's gonna be great. All right, cool, I'm down. And then you get up there, and it's just like a cell. It's a moon prison.
We'll be right back.
I don't want to go to moon jail. How do you explain that? Well, and they cut off all that. You can't call home. It's all kinds of chaos happening on Earth. Or it's even better now that you're not on Earth. It's just great times.
True.
I'm
Maybe.
straight. I think I'll stay here. We'll talk more about the space hotel because I have other thoughts. What goes on at the space hotel? Is there a space bar at the space hotel? Do they have space room service? I got so many questions. So many questions. We'll ask them though. Average horse says yes. Not sure to what.
They must wanna
Complex
go-
cougar. But maybe yes to the space hotel. Oh, it's coming. Don't worry, average horse. So what's the opposite of an average horse? A declining horse? A below average what? What is
Below
it?
average, I guess. Yeah.
Marginal horse?
Superior.
Kind of trying but not really getting it horse? I'm so ready to go home
Too
already.
bad I don't have a horse sound effect pulled up
That's
right
okay.
here. Man.
That's all right. Hey, man, whenever you're ready, just let me know. And I will say the name Average Horse again. Complex Cougar's really not happy right now. They keep saying yes to something. I don't know what that is. All right. But yeah, man, Average Horse, right on. Thank you so much for joining the show. We really appreciate it. Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine will vote to confirm Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court. She made that announcement earlier today, providing President Biden's historic nominee with at least one GOP vote toward her likely confirmation. Senator Collins says, after reviewing Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson's extensive record, watching much of her hearing testimony and meeting with her twice in person, I have concluded that she possesses the experience, qualifications, and integrity to serve as an associate justice on the Supreme Court. Collins said in a statement, I will therefore vote to confirm her to this position. Well, isn't that nice of her to do? She said that she has concluded that it's okay. I swear, man, I think the people should vote for the Supreme Court justice. There's some kind of way that people have to be involved in that decision, because that just sounds like a lot of legislative senatorial grandstanding. I have made a decision. The two met privately for the second time on Tuesday. The Maine senator said the two had a good meeting and told reporters Jackson clarified some outstanding issues. Collins and Jackson met for the first time at the beginning of March for more than 90 minutes. The New York Times first reported Collins would vote to confirm Jackson, who will be the first Black woman to serve on the Supreme Court if confirmed. And congratulations. I hope that happens. That would be nice, right? I mean, what have we got to lose at this point? I mean, you got Clarence Thomas up there with Ginny. Ginny's out here throwing chairs through the Capitol building. Still, the White House has been hoping Jackson's nomination would clear the Senate with bipartisan backing, and Collins' support ensures this will happen. Two other GOP senators who are seen as possibly voting to confirm Jackson, Senators Mitt Romney of Utah and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, have not yet said whether they intend to support the confirmation. Did anybody see Joe Biden on TV this morning when he announced the COVID-19 site? Anybody? I just want to I want you to remember, reporters have no chill. Keep that in mind. We're going to talk about that in a second. So we were talking about space a moment ago. NASA, right? Once again, they've done it. An astronaut with the record for the longest U.S. space flight finally returns to Earth. NASA astronaut Mark Van der Hel. Hi. You know what? These things aren't working. Hold on, Gliss. Give me a second. Oh my God. I can't see. I'm rubbing sight into my eyes. Here we go. Thank you. NASA astronaut Mark Van der Hel, who broke a record earlier this month for the longest space flight by an American explorer, returned to Earth today. He landed in Kazakhstan, southeast of the remote town of. They couldn't get him closer to America? That's the spot when all hell is breaking loose in that region? Oh, okay. Oh, well, he explains it here. He and cosmonauts Anton Shkaplerov and Peter Dubrov began the journey back to Earth in the early morning hours on the Soyuz MS-19 spacecraft, according to NASA. Did they try to kidnap him? The Russians are angry. Van der Hel's ride with the Russians was part of a barter exchange with Houston-based Axiom. Van der Hel, 55, had been on the International Space Station since April 9th, 2021, spending 355 days in low Earth orbit and breaking the record held by retired astronaut Scott Kelly by 15 days. Broken records mean we're making progress, said Scott Kelly, whose 340-day mission ended in 2016. Despite escalating tensions between the U.S. and Russia over Vladimir Putin's war with Ukraine, Van der Hel's return followed customary procedures. A small NASA team of doctors and other staff was on hand for the touchdown and planned to return to Houston with the astronaut. Whew, because I was afraid they were going to keep my man in Russia in the same cell. Like, you all of you Americans that want to come here, we told you don't, and lock them all up. One at a time. So now, did anybody see President Biden's speech this afternoon when he was talking about the new website, COVID.com? COVID.gov. Well, so Bliss, I want to paint a picture for you. So the president, he's doing his Clint Eastwood thing again, eyes really squinty low, and he's staring at the camera and he's talking about, Congress has got to give us more money, man. They got to give us money. We need money. And he's pointing, and he's got that, because he's an older gentleman, so that point is real, like, all the years of my blood, I'm pointing at you. And then he goes, all right, I'm getting the second booster shot right now. And I have a feeling they hadn't planned for him to do that. And so he goes, all right, let's go. So he's done with the press conference, they roll his sleeves up. And then reporters go crazy. Mr. Biden, President Biden. He's like, I'm trying to take a shot. And they're like, so what? Hey, listen, what about Putin and that? And he's like, I know you guys see me doing this, right? I'm taking a shot. It's like, oh yeah, Mr. Biden, President Biden. And they would not stop. And so finally he goes, can't you guys ask me anything about the shots? I'm like, this is not happening on live television. But I swear to God, man, he is just so like over it. He really doesn't want to be president, I think. I think he did it because the enormous sense of, yeah, exactly. I think he thought the enormous sense of doom. Wait, one reporter goes, so Mr. President, do you suggest that everyone get a booster shot? I can't tell people what to do, but yes, I suggest it strongly. I'm like, what the hell is going on with Biden? Oh man, it was fantastic. So anyway, there's a website now that he went to great lengths to introduce before he told the world he was getting his second shot, a second booster, and it's called COVID.gov. He said it's a one-stop shop for all your COVID needs. I'm like, what the hell? Who's writing this?
It's like now he's doing commercials.
It's like this Walgreens. It's your one-stop shop for all your COVID needs. And it's like you can get tests. You can find out if you got COVID. You can get masks, high-quality ones, real good masks. And you can find out where to get a free vaccine. And then he kind of like, and I'm getting a booster shot right now. And he like turns around and starts taking his coat off. I'm like, what? Sure enough, man, stuck him with his arm. They ask all those dumbass questions, and he goes, all right, everybody else. And he's gone. Man, if he could just stay in this zone he's in right now, where he's really like tough guy president, we are in for a treat. Bliss. It ain't over yet. It hasn't even gotten hot. Can you imagine in the summer? I'm going swimming right now. Just he walks away, Mr. President. Wait a minute.
And we've seen in the past too that he can be a little fiery at times.
Oh yeah. See, they haven't made him mad yet. You
right,
know, when
exactly.
It hasn't happened yet. That's why, man, we got to pray hard for his health and that somebody just pisses him off so he can go full Biden on him.
What was it? He was at, was it a factory or something like that one time? And someone said something to him, asked him a question, and he called him a damn liar.
Yes.
He started old man pointing at him.
I'm telling you, that point, he's, I don't like you. I see you. And he's like, wow, sir. President Biden, why are you worried? But when he goes, I'm getting a shot, and he kind of like turned around and he Velcroed his jacket and just ripped it up. He rolled his sleeves up. And they bombarded him with all kinds of questions. What's going on in the Ukraine? He's like, I'm getting my shots. It was him reminding them of the actual thing that was happening that made me laugh the hardest. God, keep that man alive for as long as possible. He's a hoot, Bliss. I love him. I am not mad at him at all. I still think they keep pumping money into the Ukraine. I could use a couple bucks, Joe. Come with it. But anyway, COVID.gov, as the president said, for all a one-stop shop for all your COVID needs. He really said that, quote unquote. Check it if you think I'm joking. Your one-stop shop.
Now I'm gonna have to go find that quote. I might have to make a commercial out of that.
Oh, that has to happen. It has to happen. It's like at the beginning of the press conference too. So it's like maybe a minute or two in. If I'd have been quicker on the draw, I would have texted you and told you to turn on your TV, because he straight interrupted every television show in America to remind people that, much like CVS Pharmacy, COVID.gov is where you need to go. What? COVID.gov? But there's nothing quite like seeing a older gentleman, regardless of what age, or older gentleman, regardless of what nationality they are, be really like angry old, but still pleasant and kind in some kind of way. Like, they could turn the old man anger switch on. There's nothing like it in the world. And he really went for it today. God bless Joe. Please let nothing happen to Joe. We need Joe. Moving on, because that's all we have is to move on. There's no easy exit. This Omicron outbreak is real, especially in China, and they're not in a hurry to stop it. They're like, yep, whatever. At first, Zhang Yi was barred from leaving his residential compound. Now he can't even leave his apartment. The Shanghai resident is confined to his home as the city battles a virus outbreak with a two-phase lockdown that began on Monday in the financial district of Pudong, where Zhang lives. Zhang, 28, said he sets his alarm for 6 a.m. each morning so he can order vegetables online, but the system becomes overwhelmed with orders and stock runs out within minutes. I basically can't buy vegetables now, he said. The outbreak, a subvariant known as stealth, is testing China's zero tolerance strategy. Sorry, man. Everything is funny to me, which has minimized cases and deaths compared with countries like the United States through a combination of mass testing, contact tracing, quarantine, and lockdowns. But while health experts say Beijing will eventually have to find a way to live with COVID, it doesn't appear to be in any hurry. Since March 1st, China has reported, almost 90,000 infections nationwide, as well as its first COVID-19 deaths in more than a year. While low by global standards, China hasn't seen such numbers since the start of the pandemic. The outbreak is driving gradual adjustments in policy by officials, mindful of a population and an economy already pushed to the limit by 2 years of restrictions. That was underscored this month when Chinese leader Xi Jinping told top officials that they must remain committed to virus prevention and control while minimizing its effects on the world's second biggest economy. Um, China is locking it down. Isn't that right, Happy Pelican and Cosmic Dog? You guys. China's locking it down. They don't want to have anything to do with you. If you're there, you're stuck. And that's that for China. The FDA advisors are to review the ALS drug funded by the Ice Bucket Challenge. Did you take the Ice Bucket Challenge, Bliss? That was a popular thing.
No, I didn't.
I mean, me neither. You're not getting me to do that. I get it.
I enjoyed watching other people do it. But...
Oh, yeah, there were some good ones. I did not see me being part of that trend. That's like one of the first social media viral trends. And then I think right after that was eating the Tide detergent pods.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, I enjoyed watching those because I thought those people were so dumb. They needed to eat those. They didn't eat enough of them. They should have ate them like Skittles. A whole bunch of them in their mouth. I had detergent coming all out their face, and that would have been great. Not that I want anybody to die. I'm just saying, if you're that dumb, go all the way with your stupid. Don't stop. Don't be a halfway dummy. Be a full stupid person. Tide Pods. Anyway, the FDA advisors are scheduled to vote today on whether an experimental drug for patients with ALS should receive approval. The stakes are high for the agency, experts say, as it faces pressure from patients and advocacy groups to approve the drug quickly, saying there is a critical unmet need for patients, but also intense scrutiny from the scientific community over its handling of recent approvals. ALS, or I've never been able to say that word, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, is a progressive and fatal neurodegenerative disease for which there is no cure. The drug from the Cambridge, Massachusetts-based drug maker Amylyx Pharmaceuticals is of the disease by preventing cells responsible for carrying signals from the brain to muscle cells from dying prematurely. But the company is relying on data from just a single clinical trial in its application for approval to the FDA, a decision that has prompted skepticism among some health experts about whether the company has enough evidence to show that the drug works. I don't know if you know of anyone that has ALS. I can't say that I've met anybody that has it. I know people who's like have, well, I guess I do know people who have family members that have it. But the drug's potential approval has been met with great anticipation from patients and advocacy groups such as I Am ALS and the ALS Association, which funded a portion of Amylyx's study, in part using funds from the 2014 viral Ice Bucket Challenge. While that might not have been the first viral challenge, that was probably one of the biggest ones. And then shortly after that, boom, people were eating Tide Pods. Good for them. Delicious. Yesterday, we talked about burner phones and how Donald Trump is playing like he never knew what a burner phone was. Well, guess what? He absolutely knew, like I said he did, because former Secretary of State and Wilford Brimley stand-in John Bolton was having a conversation with Trump about these burner phones. You didn't catch that joke? Come on, y'all. That was a good one. Doesn't John Bolton look like Wilford Brimley to anyone besides myself? Like a young Wilford, if Wilford Brimley was to play a Secretary of State? No? That's him. I tried. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton told Lead Balloon Jokes. You know how Hal has his segment, rejected segments? I'm going to start one of those myself called Lead Balloon Jokes. Jokes that fall like a lead balloon. Former National Security Advisor and part-time Wilford Brimley impersonator John Bolton told CBS News Tuesday that former President Trump used the phrase burner phones several times. Thank you. Thank you. Several times in discussions during his presidency. CBS and the Washington Post reported that the White House records submitted to the House panel investigating the Capitol riot show a 7-hour, 37-minute gap in Trump's phone logs for January 6, 2021, including the period when the Capitol was stormed. The January 6 Select Committee is investigating whether a disposable burner phone was used per the outlets. Trump told CBS and the Washington Post, quote, I have no idea. My Trump is so bad. I have no idea what a burner phone is, all right? To the best of my knowledge, I've never seen, heard, or I don't know anything about it, okay? It's not what I do. I don't know about a burner. But Wilford Brimley enthusiast John Bolton told CBS that Trump does know what burner phones are. And said that he and the former president had discussed how people used them to avoid having their cars scrutinized during the previous administration. Oh, man. Attorneys for the former president alleged in a lawsuit against the New York Times and his niece, Mary Trump, over the news outlets 2018 reporting on his tax records that the NYT communicated with Mary Trump via a burner phone. A spokesperson for Trump told Washington Post and CBS earlier that had nothing to do with the records and assumed his calls were recorded and preserved. Axios tried to reach Trump representatives, and of course, they didn't respond immediately for comment. I don't know what it is. Oh, yes, he does. That sounds like two people who really just don't care for each other, both jumping in there to fight crime. My man, he don't want to go to jail. Oh, of course I know what he did. Yes, we talked about it.
It's like Trump was always known for just wrong, just that wrong. John Bolton pulled that on Trump.
Oh, yes, he did.
Like, no.
No, that's wrong. He knew. He knew. Man, it is a marvelous time to be alive. I can't get over the fact that man was president of the United States. It is the most mind-blowing thing in my adult life ever that dude became the president of the United States. Nobody saw all these shenanigans coming, but me and like most of the people who didn't vote for him, which was everybody, because he got lost.
It's so weird, like, if you look back, because remember he ran, what was it, in 2012? It was very brief. It wasn't like he wasn't like a real candidate. But I remember thinking at that time, like, oh, this is all just like a big publicity stunt.
It's a ruse.
And then he was gone. And then 4 years later, he's back and he becomes president of the United States. It's pretty insane to think about.
Yeah, it's more than insane. I just caught some breaking news on my computer finally, instead of me looking down at the phone. Chicago, Illinois has been considered the next site for the Democratic presidential convention.
Ah.
Last time that happened, actually the last time that happened, I met Chuck D, Sheryl Crow, and Chris Rock the same night. I did an interview with Chuck D. That's the first time I had a chance to meet him. Still kind of call him a friend. He doesn't want to call me back. Whatever. Met Sheryl Crow, though, and Chris Rock at the Hard Rock Cafe. And Chris Rock was about this big, about as big as this phone. Little skinny man.
Seems about right.
Hadn't gotten coins and fruit and numbers slapped out his body yet. But it was coming. Little did he know. Some almost 20-some years later, it was definitely coming. Oh, man. So that's kind of interesting. Now, the time before that, when there was a Democratic convention here, oh, well, people got hit with guns and the cops beat up everybody. Yeah, it's a Chicago 7, but nobody wants to talk about that anymore. Trust me, no one in Chicago likes talking about it except for me, because I think it's hilarious that the city lost their mind because people were speaking their mind. We're going to take a break. We have talked about burner phones, going into outer space, and all kinds of stuff on this show. When we come back, we'll have Tay-Tay's favorite segment, the Community Report. There's some good things in there, too, including, but not limited to, the terrible storms that wreaked havoc upon the South. Alex Jones, who's a complete moron, billboards in Florida, and another Manson family member who straight up hacked someone to death trying to get out of jail. The Community Report couldn't get any better, could it? It might. We'll be back in a moment. It's The Drive on backchannel.tv, on YouTube, and on your Amazon and supported devices. I act like I forgot everything that I was doing there for a moment. I got caught up in the community report. We'll be back right after these words. Hey, everybody. I hope you didn't see all those facial expressions I was making when I was waiting to get lined back up here. We're here on backchannel.tv. Thank you so much for watching us today. It is 43 minutes after the hour, and it's time for the community report. And we start in the south of the United States, the southern portion of our country. Severe storms that included at least 2 tornadoes injured several people, damaged homes and businesses, and downed power lines in Arkansas and Missouri overnight as twisters and hurricane force winds were forecast in much of the deep south for today. No deaths were reported from the storms late Tuesday and early Wednesday, officials said. A tornado that struck Springdale and the adjoining town of Johnson, about 145 miles northwest of Little Rock, Arkansas, around 4 a.m., injured 7 people, 2 critically, said Washington County, Arkansas Emergency Management Director John Luther. He had no additional information about them. The National Weather Service said that tornado would be rated at least EF2, which would mean wind speeds reached 111 to 135 miles per hour. Search and rescue teams have been deployed as there are significant damages and injuries, Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson said. In northwest Missouri, an EF1 with wind speeds around 90 miles per hour struck St. Joseph on Tuesday night, according to the Weather Service. That tornado damaged 2 homes, but no injuries were reported there. The storms come a week after a tornado in New Orleans carved a path of destruction during the overnight hours and killed a man. Damage was extensive in Springdale, including to an elementary gymnasium and a warehouse, KFSM TV reported. The Springdale School District, which is the largest in Arkansas, canceled all classes Wednesday. We have some commercial buildings and residencies and everything in between with severe storm damage, Luther said. About 80,000 power outages were reported in Texas and Louisiana, about 56,000 in Louisiana, where storms have passed. Tornado warnings were in effect for this afternoon, in fact, in southeastern Arkansas, western Mississippi, northeastern Louisiana, and a tornado watch remained in effect in parts of eastern Arkansas. A tornado watch was issued for most of Arkansas, northern Louisiana, southern Missouri, southeastern Oklahoma, and northeast Texas through early Wednesday afternoon. The Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma said all of Mississippi and parts of Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Tennessee were at the greatest risk for severe weather today. More than 8 million people live in that area, which includes the cities of Memphis, Tennessee, Baton Rouge, Jackson, and Montgomery. We expect several tornadoes today, some of which could unfortunately be quite intense, said Bill Bunting, chief of forecast operations at the Storm Prediction Center. The worst weather is probably taking place as we speak. Gliss, we got to get my man Ryan Hall, who I know we wouldn't be able to get him today because he's monitoring that storm. But we absolutely got to make a move to get him on here and make him our permanent weatherman. That's what we do. Do we have a budget to hire him? I don't think we have a budget.
It depends on who you're speaking of when you say we.
Touche, salesman. It does indeed depend on who we is. I know who we is not me, and I'm pretty sure it's not you. But no. I mean the collective we.
Yeah.
We just hired Joe. No, we didn't hire Joe Buck, did we? Never mind. I was just gonna say, no, who did we hire? We just hired Al Michaels. We don't have a budget for Ryan Hall? Yes, I bet we do. If we beg, we just go straight to begging. I'm trying to see if I can't catch him on YouTube real quick to see if this weather is. Oh my God, it is bad. So I can. America, justice, what is going on? Why are you screaming? Be quiet, Alicia Keys. No, please don't tell Alicia Keys. I love Alicia Keys. I'm not trying to. Okay, I'm looking at what Ryan Hall is looking at, and let me tell you something, man. It is going down in the South right now. All those areas I just mentioned, the radar is purple. It's not red. It's purple. And which would explain some of this activity on our chat today. Most of our folks who chime in from that part of the country aren't around today. Please, man, I hope if you guys are even trying to listen, which I hope you're doing it on your Amazon device if at all, or watching us on YouTube, be careful. Please be careful. This doesn't look good. And if you're gonna turn the sound down on Ryan, his site on YouTube is Ryan Hall, y'all. And
I'm on there right now, actually.
Yeah, this is whew, hot dog. What part of the country is? Yeah, this is bad. So again, be careful if you happen for some reason to be able to hear my voice and you're in one of those places that's affected by these tornadoes. Find some safety. Turn this show off. Are you crazy? Find somewhere to be safe, and that we don't have accurate weather information, so I can't help you. So you got to go somewhere where it's safe. Is it to jump in the bathtub? Well, I don't know if they have tornadoes in Portland, but I know in Chicago it's like jump in the bathtub and close the door.
It's really rare. Yeah, like it's really rare. Like we get some every now and then, but you know, it's very rare.
I was sitting in here, of course, post a pre daily show, and there was a tornado in the area, but just the wind was ridiculous. So I can only imagine being in being in that situation. It's got to be the scariest thing in the world.
Oh, gotta be. I think that might be the scariest weather to me. Like if I had to pick one that would scare me the most, it's probably tornadoes.
I gotta say, man, when we had Snowmageddon, Apocalypticon 2, Electric Boogaloo a few years back, the day I stopped smoking cigarettes, the windows in the apartment I was in were breathing, and that kind of frightened me. It was hurricane force winds, but it was a snowstorm. I'm like, what? Is this the end? So I turned on the TV, watched the Three Stooges, and was like, if this is it, I'm watching the Stooges.
Go out, watching and this is not happening.
Yeah, I'm just
wind can be scary. We have like 12 old oak trees in our backyard, and they drop a lot of stuff when it's windy.
Yeah,
and like when we get a big windstorm, like we had a big one a couple of years ago. It was actually the same. It was the week after we had all those fires around here, and the sky was just like bright orange for like a week.
Yeah.
And we had this huge windstorm, and it destroyed a bunch of stuff in our backyard with 12-foot branches that were falling out of the trees. It was pretty scary.
I know you know this when when the wildfires, especially when they're in Oregon, but when there are wildfires in the West, we get the smoke.
Yeah.
in Chicago, it'll be like super hazy. Then it has this weird effect on the sun when it comes up over the lake.
Yeah.
It looks like it's coming up opaque, or sometimes like it's a negative. It's man, it's like, man, it must be burning up in on the West Coast, and more times than not, it is. It's an interesting phenomenon, man. That's why I like this geeky, nerdy stuff like the weather and
I
space.
know, it's fun.
You know,
And
because
I hate to say it because wildfires destroy people's lives, but
yes,
it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Like the
I
way
can
the
only
sky
imagine.
looks,
Yeah.
it's so cool. I'll have to find. I have some pictures somewhere that I took during that week, and it was like literally the sky is just like bright orange. Like
Do
it
you
looks
think?
like something out of a science fiction movie.
Do you think the back channel TV people are going to do some kind of a psychological exam on me and you because we like weird stuff? You think they're sitting in Los Angeles like, they like wildfires. I,
Wildfires, space.
I knew it. Period. I think we're good. I hope we're good. We better be
Yeah,
good.
we're
I got a
good.
lot. I got a Christmas tree. I'm gonna actually buy buying a Charlie Brown Christmas tree this year. Run me about $13. This job's gonna help pay. Emperor Wars host Alex Jones. Oh boy! When you hear this, don't just remember who it's coming from. InfoWars host Alex Jones offered to pay $120,000 per plaintiff to resolve a lawsuit by relatives of Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting victims, who said he defamed them by asserting the massacre never happened, according to court filings yesterday. The offer was quickly rejected by the families. Good on them. A Connecticut judge found Jones liable for damages in November, and a trial is planned to determine how much he should pay the families. The plaintiffs say they have been subjected to harassment and death threats from Jones's followers because of the hoax conspiracy promoted on his show. The court filings posted online said, quote, Mr. Jones extends his heartfelt apology for any distress his remarks caused, close quote. Last week, Jones defied a court order to attend a deposition near his home in Austin, Texas, to provide testimony ahead of the trial. Jones said he was ill. Not ill like ill, but like, oh, help me. Ill. A hearing is scheduled for Wednesday on a request by the plaintiffs to sanction Jones for not cooperating. What if Alex Jones would have rolled over like, hey yo, y'all, I'm ill. And just like P-Boy stared him and stared him down, had on some big gazelle glasses, a big dookie gold chain, like a leather Adidas suit, and a pork pie hat like he was Run DMC. Would that have been fun? In my mind, man, there's so much going on in my head. It's really, they are going to do a psychological exam. I'm sorry, Gliss. They probably drag you into. Lawyers for the families rejected the settlement offer within a few hours, saying in court filings that it was a transparent and desperate attempt by Alex Jones to escape a public reckoning under oath with his deceitful, profit-driven campaign against the plaintiffs and the memory of their loved ones lost at Sandy Hook. 20 first graders and 6 educators were killed in the 2012 shooting in Newton, Connecticut. The families of 8 of the victims and an FBI agent who responded to the school sued Jones, InfoWars, and others in Connecticut over the hoax conspiracy. Jones has since said he believes the shooting did occur. Jones also was found liable for damages in similar lawsuits filed in Texas by relatives of Sandy Hook victims, and also faces trial later this year. Dude's a stone cold nut. So I don't feel well. I'm sick. Let me tell you something about this. I'm sick. I don't have time to talk about Sandy Hook. Yeah, you got all the time in the world, dude. You did it to yourself. I got time for a couple of more. Billboards across Florida are encouraging people to say gay. And these aren't little bitty billboards either, friends. These are some big ass billboards with the words say gay on them. Billboards popping up in some of Florida's largest cities are encouraging passersby to say gay. The massive roadside messages are a response to the state's controversial parental rights and education bill, dubbed by critics the Don't Say Gay bill, which Republican governor and part-time maniac Ron DeSantis signed into law on Monday. The full-time maniac, the measure prohibits classroom instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity in kindergarten through grade 3, or in a manner that is not age appropriate and developmentally appropriate. If you're living in Florida and you hear my voice, you make sure you say gay everywhere you go just to get on people's nerves, even if you think Ron DeSantis is a saint, which he is not. You make it your business. That's a lot of nerve to the idea. Here I go. Man, I need a soapbox in here that I can just stand on. I don't have anything around me. The idea is to educate. It's not to frighten people. It's to educate people, particularly young people, because you know who young people turn into? People like Ron DeSantis and Alex Jones and Donald Trump and Wilford Brimley's stunt double, John Bolton, and everybody else that's out here clowning. Educate, man. Don't be talk to people. Educate. Stop being afraid of people. It's ridiculous. I hate doing that, man. I don't like sounding like that. Like I'm trying to be preachy, because I'm not. I'm just saying, this isn't hard. What are we? Perfect segment for it. What are we doing? Ron DeSantis. I bet Ron DeSantis. I don't want us to get sued. I was going to say he eats White Castle every day, but they don't have White Castle in Florida. And finally, on the community report, and this will be brief because I don't know why this keeps happening. California Governor Gavin Newsom. Oh, wait, I had a good one. What was the name of the group that did Glycerine? Because he looks like, Bush. He looks like the lead singer for Bush.
Gavin.
His name's Gavin too.
Yeah, his name is Gavin. That's right.
There you go. California Governor Gavin Newsom and member of Bush cover band Smush on Tuesday blocked parole for Charles Manson follower Leslie Van Houten, reversing a panel's recommendation that she be freed after spending a half century in prison. Van Houten, 72, currently poses an unreasonable danger to society if released from prison at this time, Newsom said in his parole review. It was the 5th time that a California governor has rejected her release. But he said she poses... Oh, I'm sorry. Her attorney, Rich Pfeiffer, disputed that view and said the decision will be appealed in court. He accused Newsom of rejecting parole because he is worried about his political future and noted that Van Houten has a spotless prison disciplinary record. We're not fighting over Leslie being a good person. She's proven that through her actions for half a century, he said. Am I right? Wasn't she one of the people that killed Sharon Tate? Killed her dead? Stopped her career? Stopped her family? Stopped all that stuff? Have fun in jail until you're not able to be alive anymore, Miss Van Houten. Sorry, not sorry.
It took me that whole story to stop crying from you saying he had a cover band called Smush.
Yeah, this is cover band Smush. I thought people knew that. They perform in Southern California all the time. Gavin, why are people looking at me? People on the chat are calling me hilarious. I'm not trying to be hilarious, man.
Oh my god.
All right, when we come back, hour 2 of the show, it's The Drive with Mario Smith on Backchannel.tv. Oh man. On Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported devices. And hey, when you're in Southern California, if you're in La Pasadena, please make sure you go see Smush. Hal Rudnick is doing stand-up, opening up for Smush. Tip your wait staff. We'll be back in just a moment. It's The Drive with Mario Smith on Backchannel.tv. We'll be right back. Welcome to hour 2 of The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv. I'm still laughing inside. I'm Mario Smith, live from Chicago, Illinois. Hope you're enjoying the show. Shout out to Stacy in Texas, London, Karimus, Somber Fly, Active Wombat. Thank you for the compliment. I'm really not trying to be funny. Native Fox in Kansas, Rosie Zebra in Massachusetts, Elizabeth in Maine, Possible Bat, and Astonishing Snake. Joining me from Portland, Oregon is my man Jay Gliss. Good afternoon, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing
You okay?
good. I'm good. Oh man.
Did you go hunting on Apple Music for Smush? I'm sure they got an album out. You gotta look for it.
I'm gonna have to see them when they come around.
I have not had a thing to indulge in or anything. It's just I'm a little messed up in my head sometimes. Oh, that was good. I needed that laugh. I haven't laughed at anything I've said in a long time. That was funny. Thank you for holding it in, Gliss. Next time, let it out, man. Don't hold back. Let me know I'm connected.
You know, the only problem was that story was about the Newsom Bush thing led into the Manson thing. So I didn't want to be too inappropriate.
I know, and that's my problem. That's on me.
No, it's not a problem. I mean, we have fun with everything on the show. It's just like I didn't want to be hysterically laughing while you were reading.
Well, I was talking about this woman that hacked Sharon Tate to death. Yeah,
exactly.
You know, though, really, she should never get out of jail. Hell, they should be reburying. They should reanimate Charles Manson so he could stay his ass alive long enough to stay in jail another 50 years.
Yeah, like come on now, get the. Would they say she's exemplified, good behavior?
Well, of course, she doesn't have any weapons on her that she can chop somebody to death with.
She doesn't have a hatchet.
No. Sorry, man. She ain't never
going in jail. Actions have consequences.
Plus, my man's got work to do. He's still, paying alimony to what's her name from. Oh, never mind. Let me shut up. Anyway, welcome to the show. I tried. I don't want to dig too deep in my dumb joke well and mess up. Polite Bird is here, by the way, and Polite Bird's in South Carolina, and Polite Bird might be in the path of one of those storms. Be careful, Polite Bird. Oh man, quick story, and I don't think his mother's listening, so cool. My godson started school in Arizona today. He just moved from Chicago to AZ, and he's already spotted a girl. He's 13, so he's already got a girl, and he's already got a couple of friends, from what I'm understanding. So good for him. Good on him. Congratulations, young man, Mr. David. I hope everything goes well there. I'm coming to Arizona in a couple of months. Oh, live from Arizona, Gliss. It's gonna be great. I'll be by a pool. Any chance? I couldn't do it. Yeah, I guess I could do it by the pool. I can't do it from the pool, and I don't swim. So you don't want to have me drown.
Well, yeah, that's probably not the best
YouTube.
idea.
That'll be a show. I bet you we'd all get emails about that. Please do not do shows inside of a pool if you can't swim. That would be me. I got brief headlines, but they're from the phone. I hope folks don't mind too much. This will be quick. A story that just appeared from the Associated Press. Intel shows that Putin misled by advisors on Ukraine. U.S. intelligence officials have determined that Russian President Vladimir Putin is being misinformed by advisors about his military's poor performance in Ukraine, according to the White House. The advisors are scared to tell him the truth, the intel says. The findings, recently declassified, indicate that Putin is aware of the situation on information coming to him, and there now is persistent tension between him and senior Russian military officials. The U.S. believes Putin is being misled not only about his military's performance, but also, quote, how the Russian economy is being crippled by sanctions because, again, his senior advisors are too afraid to tell him the truth. White House Communications Director Kate Bedingfield said today. Earlier, President Joe Biden said in an exchange with reporters while he was getting his shot that he could not comment on the intelligence. Wow. If that's true, that they... I'm telling you, man, it's going to be over sooner than you think. Sooner than you think, my friend. And also, breaking news from the New York Times. It's about ivermectin. Ivermectin does not reduce risk of COVID hospitalization. A large study finds at some point it will become a waste of resources to continue studying an unpromising approach, one expert said. The anti-parasitic drug ivermectin, which has surged in popularity as an alternative treatment for COVID-19, despite a lack of strong research to back it up, showed no sign of alleviating the disease, according to results of a large clinical trial published today. The study, which compared more than 1,300 people infected with the coronavirus in Brazil who received either ivermectin or a placebo, effectively ruled out the drug as a treatment for COVID. Quote, there's really no sign of any benefit, close quote, said David Boulware, an infectious disease expert at the University of Minnesota. The researchers shared a summary of these results in August during an online presentation hosted by the National Institutes of Health, but the full data had not been published until now in the New England Journal of Medicine. If you are taking ivermectin, you are dumb. Stop doing that. You know what's better, though? You should stay in your house and stay in the bed. Bed sores might be a thing, but just stay in the bed forever. Just don't go outside because you're in the head. When we come back, we will have a Will Smith studded entertainment report. Also, let me remind you, you can leave a review of the show while you're on Backchannel at backchannel.tv. Leave a review. Let us know how we're doing. We will read the reviews on Friday. We will. Me and Gliss will be back in just a moment. It's The Drive on backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported device. Be right back. Every time I look at this picture of Will Smith slapping this man, I'm just like, damn, son, you could have did this so differently. We could be still talking about him winning the Academy Award for Best Actor. Instead, we are still talking about this. Will Smith's slap scene round the world at the Oscars was clearly a crime, legal experts say, but the chances of prosecution are slim, and even if convicted, he'd likely face little more than, you ready for it? A slap on the wrist. I didn't write that. Smith left millions of witnesses stunned Sunday when he marched onto the stage of the Dolby Theater and smacked Chris Rock into the fifth dimension after the comedian made a joke about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, who was sitting with the actor in the front row. The Los Angeles Police Department has said it was aware of the incident but was not investigating because Rock declined to file a police report. While police could technically open an investigation based on the Academy Awards broadcast, they wouldn't do so without Rock's participation, said defense lawyer, Alan Jackson, a former Los Angeles County prosecutor who oversaw high-profile cases. Would they ever, in a practical world, do that when Chris Rock is saying, I won't cooperate with a criminal investigation? Not in a million years, Jackson said. LAPD is probably breathing a sigh of relief that they don't have to get involved with two high-profile actors duking it out on a world stage. I don't think both of them were duking it out. One of them got touched up. Didn't somebody get slapped into a whole nother area code on Sunday? I didn't see Chris Rock swing on anyone. The Los Angeles City Attorney's Office, which prosecutes misdemeanor crimes, declined to comment, but said it couldn't bring charges without a police referral. If he's going to be charged, I can't speak to what the charge would be, spokesman Rob Wilcox said. News of celebrities in trouble has been a fixture in LA since Hollywood's early days, and questions frequently arise about whether the rich and powerful receive a different brand of justice. The celebrity thing is coming into play, unfortunately, said former District Attorney Steve Cooley, LA District Attorney. If some Joe Blow committed this act in front of a police officer, would he be able to walk away from it? Probably not. If Smith is not charged, it could imperil the justice system's credibility, said Jody Armour, a law professor at USC. Quote, how can what appears to be an obvious criminal act committed in the open public not result in any criminal consequences? Armour asked. Do different standards apply to celebrities and non-celebrities? Apparently, we seem to all recognize that this is the case. But what does that recognition say to us about the legitimacy and credibility of our criminal justice system? Close quote. While the famous can use their status to influence decision makers, their fame can work against them if the prosecutor decides to make an example of a crime by someone well known. Quote, I would be surprised if the city attorney does not seriously consider it because it was so public, close quote, said Allison Triessel, a criminal defense lawyer who has handled many misdemeanor battery cases. Are they sending the wrong message if they don't prosecute him? Triessel said there's no question a crime was committed and there's no need for the victim to file a report. Charges are routinely brought in domestic violence cases without cooperation from the victim because the crime is against the state for violating its penal code. It sends a message that you can commit a crime and you won't be punished, she said. This was a very wrong message. So do you think they're going to press charges? The state of California is really going to press charges against Will Smith? I don't know. They might. I mean, here's the problem: what everybody is forgetting on this, I'm Team Will, and he committed a crime on television in front of at least 15 million American people. At least. Nobody sees that being a thing.
And that's, I mean, you and I have talked about this off the air, is like, that's the main thing that, you know, if you're on quote unquote team Will, you know, and you're trying to say, you know, he didn't do anything wrong, he was defending his wife's honor, whatnot, he committed a crime, so he did do something wrong. And as you just and as you just said, he did it on television for everybody to see.
He made an example out of Chris Rock. Here's more. Will Smith's violent slap of Chris Rock at the Academy Awards appears to have a negligible impact on the television audience, but the world of social media is a much different story. ABC said there were some 22.7 million social media interactions during Sunday's ceremony, the most ever for an Oscars telecast, and more than double the 9.5 million recorded from last year's show. What do you suppose everyone was tweeting or posting about? Well, the network says Oscar videos notched 16 million views on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, also a record for the show. ABC does not have any details about what video clips were most popular, a spokesman said on Tuesday. The telecast as a whole drew 16.6 million viewers, up 58% from the 2021 show that was dramatically scaled back due to the COVID epidemic. The Nielsen company said, yet this year, the show was down 30% from the more typical 2020 broadcast, which had been the second smallest audience. Nielsen measures viewership in 15-minute increments, and the 17.3 million viewers during the quarter hour when Smith's attack took place was virtually identical to the quarter hour that followed. Then the audience dipped to 16.8 million before rising to 17.4 million during the period Smith won his Best Actor award. Led by its NCAA men's basketball tourney coverage, CBS won the week with an average of 6.2 million viewers in primetime. Despite boasting the Oscars, ABC was second with 5 million, NBC had 2.28 million, Fox had 2.27 million, Univision had 1.5 million, Ion Television had 1.1 million, and Telemundo had 960,000. TBS, also boosted by the NCAAs, led the cable networks with an average of 2.81 million in primetime. Fox News Channel had 2.4 million. MSNBC had people watch Fox News Channel still? What are we doing? That's crazy. All right, so here's the ones that did it. Number one, the Academy Awards with 16.62 million viewers. And that's ABC. The NCAA men's basketball tournament took 2 through 6th place. The Arkansas-Duke game being number 2 with 10.34 million viewers. The FBI on CBS, 8.02 million. The pregame show on the NCAA on Thursday, 7.93 million, and live from the red carpet on the Oscars, 7.73 million people. It's amazing how people turned into the Oscars and really turned into the Oscars to see if Will Smith was going to win after finding out and talking about on social media that he slapped coins out of Chris Rock. Isn't that right, Decisive Flamingo in Wisconsin? Or our newest member, Pam, or Simple Crane. Isn't that correct? Welcome, guys, to the show, by the way. And now let's fact check some false claims that were made, and then I think I'm done talking about Chris Rock and Will Smith until tomorrow. Or no, I'm sorry, Friday. And here's that slap again. And the AP is making sure that they show this with so much gusto. Will Smith slapping comedian Chris Rock on stage at Sunday's 90 Point Awards was a moment that was hard to believe, but false news about the incident was even harder to believe. One couple of these real quick lists. Here you go. The claim that Chris Rock issued a public apology for his joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head, saying, quote, he crossed the line that I shouldn't have and paid the enormous price for my reputation as a renowned comedian, close quote, is fake. Rock issued no such apology, a representative for the comedian told the AP in an email yesterday afternoon. The fabricated apology Rock amassed millions of views across social media platforms. Amazing. He didn't say it. A photo shows actress Nicole Kidman gasping in reaction to Smith slapping Rock at the Oscars. That happened the night before. It didn't happen after the slap. That was also and in the most ironic of all of it, guess who starts a tour tonight? Since it's his first show since Will Smith slapped him. That's right. Chris Rock starts his tour tonight. And now there are pictures of him and Will Smith together. Amazing. How does this sound to you, Bliss? What if Chris Rock brings Will Smith out on stage with him in Boston tonight? What will the narrative be then? Because that could very well happen.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Can you imagine? People will lose their minds. They have been so stuck on being right. What if they come out on stage together tonight, hug it out, and Chris Rock says something funny again, or funny for the first time in this sense, and Will Smith laughs it off and walks away? What if he brings Will and Jada Pinkett Smith out with him on that stage in Boston tonight? That changes the whole story.
Yeah. It wouldn't be a bad move.
No, not at all. That's the move you make.
It would maybe, escalate this getting, put behind all of them. I mean, again, it's not going to go. It's always going to be remembered. And as you pointed out yesterday, unfortunately, it's going to come up for something that Will Smith is always remembered for. But it would certainly, it would maybe help tone things down a little bit.
It would one, stop it in its tracks for a moment, and two, it would make people who have been really talking out their ass the last couple of days shut up. And because you can't, what do you say now? If he brings them out on stage with him, what do you say now? You can't say anything. You have been, it's over.
Yeah, be a little bit of closure.
Oh man, it would literally fuse the situation together. Because then the state of California will be like, well, Mr. Rock apparently seems to be cool with him. It seems to be okay. We don't want to pursue this matter. If he doesn't want to pursue it, we'll leave it be. I don't think any of it is fake, which, again, people are still saying it was fake. This isn't the WWE. This isn't wrestling. It's not fake. He slapped the you-know-what out of him for real. I tell you what, ask someone to slap you and tell me if you think that's fake. I hope you... Please bring him out with you tonight just to watch people's heads blow off their bodies. That would be great. The multi-platinum rock band Foo Fighters has canceled all of its upcoming tour dates after the death of its drummer Taylor Hawkins. It is with great sadness that Foo Fighters confirmed the cancellation? Man, your blooper reel is long. The cancellation of all upcoming tour dates in light of the staggering loss of our brother Taylor Hawkins, the band said in a brief statement sent to NPR yesterday. We're sorry for and share in the disappointment that we won't be seeing one another as planned. Instead, let's take this time to grieve, to heal, to pull our loved ones close, and to appreciate all the music and memories we've made together. With love, Foo Fighters. The band is scheduled to perform at the Grammys in Vegas this Sunday, where it has been nominated for 3 awards. NPR has asked Foo Fighters representatives if the band will still appear on the telecast, but did not receive an immediate reply. Hawkins died at age 50 in Bogota, Colombia on Friday, where the group had been scheduled to perform. An official cause of death has not been released. Hawkins had been in Foo Fighters since 1997, 3 years after the band began. Before that, he had been the touring drummer for Alanis Morissette. During Hawkins' time with Foo Fighters, the band won 12 Grammys and scored 4 number 1 hits on the Billboard charts. Super sad. And finally, have you guys been seeing these videos of realistic cake? Does everyone know what I'm talking about? Have you seen them, Gliss?
Realistic cake?
If you could show this picture from the story I'm about to read, it's a picture of an elephant. And this elephant is actually a cake.
Oh, yeah.
It's called hyperrealistic art. Netflix is starting a new show. And go all the way down. There's a shoe that looks like a shoe, but it's a cake. There's a, is there any more? Hat. That looks like a hat. But it's a cake.
Those are pretty realistic.
Even on the inside of that shoe.
The hat's probably the most impressive.
That's a cake. That looks like one of my hats. I think there's one more, maybe. Nope, that's it. But if you want to, it's hyper realistic art or hyper realistic cakes, and Netflix is about to start a show about this phenomenon. And I'm telling you, man, when you see them, it will blow your mind. It's called "Is It Cake?" and it's hosted by SNL's Mikey Day, and it'll be on Netflix soon. It's crazy, hyper realistic cakes, and that's their entertainment report. What a week, huh? It's only Wednesday.
I know.
We talk about Will Smith every day.
I think everybody has.
I tried to tell a friend of mine it's not going to go away.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
It totally goes away if Chris Rock brings either of them. What if he doesn't bring Will Smith out and he brings out Jada Pinkett Smith?
Be a good look.
I will eat my hat. No, I won't eat my hat. I love my hats. I would then say that everybody. No, you know what people will say? It's fake. It was fake all along, or something crazy. Yeah. It's not going to end anytime soon, man. It's just simply not. We've got more sports news, Gliss, than we have in our segment, so we should probably get to it. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll play ball on the Dylan T. Pickles Sports Report. I'm sorry, what was the dude that the unicyclist that's dressed up like
the Unipiper?
Yeah, on the Dylan T. Pickles Unipiper sports page. The Unipiper. When we come back, we've got a lot more show left. Not much more, but a lot more. And thank you, Michael Lockett. He says my sarcasm has no bounds. Yeah, pretty much. And let's see, what are the folks saying in the chat before we... No, yes. Riyadh is here. See? Kind-hearted emu. All right. We're doing something right if Riyadh is here. Right. I mean, we are doing... Let me make sure to check my email. I'll do it while we're on a break. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon. Hey, Riyadh. What's up, man? Yes, sir. How are you? I'm wonderful, thanks. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon-supported devices, and we'll be right back. Why am I so scared when I see my name and Riyadh's name? Gliss, that's not good. See you guys in a minute. Check the email. Welcome to the Dylan T. Pickles Unipiper. We're just going to insert all weird people here sports report. I'm Mario Smith from the sports desk. That's the same desk I've been at since 4 o'clock Eastern time. CJ McCollum's coming back to your town tonight, Bliss. As the
I know.
Pelicans are playing,
he's going to get a nice warm welcome.
Well, he said that he's looking at it as closure.
Yeah.
He also intimated on a podcast that he was really ready to leave Portland, apparently. When they asked him if he needed to like gather his things or anything, he's like, get me out of here as soon as possible. And then the plane left him. Did you hear that story?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, plane left him here or there, stuck in Portland.
Yeah, I know that, and I know Damian has talked about it as well, because they're really close, and he had talked about that when it happens, it was like such a shock, but they had been talking about it for months, that they both felt like this was the year that the Blazers were going to split them up and kind of move on from them being, the duo that was here. So he's talked about that as well. Just, how it was such a shock to him, even though it was something that they both kind of knew was coming, but that once it actually happened, that it was, kind of hard to believe that it had actually taken place.
He's
9 seasons together or something like that.
Yeah.
8 or 9 seasons. I can't remember, but I mean, and those guys are super close off the court as well. So
he is I'm just reading your note. Sorry, because I don't really pay attention to the show. I'm always like, making bets on FanDuel. No, I'm not. I swear to God, I'm not. I'm looking at, that's always headlines.
ESPN.
Is it? Their relationship, and just the mere fact that he really did well in Portland.
Oh, yeah.
He was a great number 2 to Dame Lillard. And them getting rid of him, there were only 2 people they could have gotten rid of. Actually, you might have been able to get rid of the phone thrower, but you're not going to do that because you want to make sure that you have somebody to fill up that space in the middle. But it was either going to be Dame or it was going to be CJ, and I hate that it was either one of them. I like CJ McCollum.
Oh, I do too.
I don't know what's going on in New Orleans. I don't understand the Pelicans, man. I don't understand it. I mean, they got guys, but I don't understand how that works out there with that team. I wonder if they didn't sign CJ to an extension, does he talk about trying to get out of there and maybe come to the Bulls?
He is a great offensive player. I think the problem in Portland was just that him and Dame are, explosive as you can get offensively together, and they play well with each other. But the problem is they're very similar in their build and kind of their games. And I think that was just, they kind of hit their ceiling a couple years ago when they got swept in the Western Conference Finals by the Warriors. But what got them there, people forget, like they obviously beat Oklahoma City that year with the big, the Damian Lillard 37-foot buzzer beater that gave him 50 points that he hit over Paul George to end the series. When they played Denver in that second round, people forget that Dame did not play well. They had to go on the road in Game 7 in Denver in the altitude, and Dame looked gassed.
Yeah, he did from the beginning.
CJ was the one that took them to that Western Conference Finals. I believe I can't remember what the numbers were. I think he had like 37 or something like that.
He balled out that day. I remember
on
that.
the road. Yeah. And he looked good in a Bulls uniform. He's from Ohio, so he's a Midwest guy. Yeah. Like I could see him going to Chicago. He'd fit in nice there.
And not to hyper localize this part of it, teams like the Bulls who are on the verge have to make their teams better. Big win for them last night against the Washington Wizards. And then people were like, well, it was the Washington Wizards. Well, it was the New York Knicks the night before they lost. They need things. Rudy Gobert's name has come up. And a couple other players of renown have come up. But the Rudy Gobert name, I can totally see that happening here. Actually, Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell's name have both come up. I could see that happening. You got Levine and you got DeMar. DeMar is 32 years old. He's got 2 more years for sure, 2 more productive, super productive years, and then he's going to become the old man in the ringer in the gym. And I don't know if the Bulls are going to give Zach LaVine that max money, but if you're telling me you're going to get me Donovan Mitchell, I get Spider, and I get Rudy Gobert, I loved having LaVine here.
Yeah,
I loved having
Gobert's a game changer just because of how good he is on defense.
Exactly, and that's what they need.
Yeah, he said, that's Utah, and they've been a solid team for several years now, but he's kind of the anchor of that whole operation there. So I mean, you put him in the middle on any team, and they're instantly getting better just because of how good he is on the defensive end.
Here's some headlines from ESPN. That's not FanDuel on my phone. Can you imagine if I had the nerve to try to place bets while I'm reading? You know what? I swear I have all that stuff on my phone. Unknown user said yes. I have all that stuff on my phone, but I've never ever tried to do it. Simple Crane is here along with Annabelle.
That would be impressive multitasking if you could do that.
Man, I wish.
I have the luxury of going off screen, so like if I want to go listen to that Smush band on Spotify.
Should. Oh, it's good. Smush is outstanding. Governor Gavin Newsom leading the way. LeBron James will not be playing tonight or paying tonight. He has a left ankle sprain. AD always disabled is doubtful with a right foot sprain for Thursday's game. The facing potential playoff games in Toronto, Boston, and Philadelphia. All those teams declined to tell ESPN if their teams were fully vaccinated. Janny Beck, oh boy, Alim Kanhuli and Danny Dignam are to meet for the WBO middleweight title on May 21st. The public cost of the Bills' new stadium to exceed $1.1 billion. They better win 8 Super Bowls to pay for that place. And let's see, is there anything else? This is interesting. MLB, Major League Baseball. Okay, Major League Baseball announces Home Run Derby 10. It's a global tour featuring former players. On Wednesday, Major League Baseball announced the launch of MLB Home Run Derby 10, a global baseball tour making stops in London, Seoul, South Korea, Mexico City, featuring Adrian Gonzalez, Johnny Gomez, Giovanni Soto, and Nick Swisher. What? Let me warn you people in those countries, don't go see that. That's a bona fide barf bag. You see, especially Nick Swisher. I hope no one is related to Nick Swisher watching this program, but he's terrible. All right, the sports that I actually wanted to talk about. You like that, the little sports headlines? Because there's a lot going on today. The 2022 NBA draft is just starting to get going here with some of these guys who got knocked out in the NCAAs. I would start as soon as, this thing here, CBS is weird. Keegan Murray announced yesterday he's entering his name into the 2022 NBA draft after earning first-team AP All-America honors during a standout sophomore season. Murray averaged 23.5 points and 8.7 rebounds this season while leading the Hawkeyes to a 26-10 record in the Big Ten and a Big Ten tournament title. Quote, as a kid, I dreamed of playing in Carver Arena, wearing a Carver Hawkeye Arena. I'm not trying to make any alumni mad. And wearing the black and gold, Murray wrote in a message posted to Twitter, I am forever grateful that Coach McCaffrey gave me the opportunity to live out my dream. You believed in me, no one did, and you're a big part of why I'm in this position today. Murray is the number 11 prospect on Kyle Boone's NBA draft big board and considered a potential lottery pick in the 2022 NBA draft, which is set for June 23rd. The early entry withdrawal date is June 13th this season, but it would be a surprise if Murray opted for a return to college. After logging 18 minutes per game off the bench as a freshman in 2020-2021, while playing behind veteran bigs such as Luka Garza and Jack Nunge, Murray emerged as one of the sport's top breakout stars this season. Keegan Murray is nice. I think that's a good idea on his part to go pro. There's not much more he's going to be able to do there. Um, I guess for me, it's who wants everybody's Keegan Murray in the NBA. You know what I mean? He's a good basketball player. And I'm not saying he's not special. I'm just saying there's a lot of Keegan Murrays in the NBA. And the NBA is really young right now. There aren't a lot of older guys playing. Could get lost in the shuffle. I think someone should tell him, hey, it's no shame if you go back to Iowa or hit the transfer portal and apply your trade somewhere else and work on your game a little bit more. But we'll see what happens. Here's some encouraging news if you're a Tiger Woods fan. He played 18 holes in a practice round at Augusta. What in the hell is that? Something in my house fell. I'm nowhere near that noise.
That was a little odd.
I'm nowhere near whatever. It's haunted.
That was very unsettling.
Yeah, it kind of bothered me a little. Okay. All right, whoever's in there, you can go. I can't see you. You're defeating the purpose. Peace. Thank you. I think they'll leave. Tiger was out with his son, Charlie, and they were golfing. That man almost had his leg amputated. I think if he plays in Augusta, he doesn't have to win at all. Just if he plays, man, that would be so cool. I'm a big Tiger Woods fan, and I'm beginning to like Charlie Woods too. That little boy can golf. He's good, and he's just like his old man with the mannerisms and stuff, and takes his gloves off the same way. I'm encouraged. And Justin Thomas, PGA Tour Pro, said that he played every hole and he looked good to me. Can you imagine that, man? And the only reason why people knew about it is because his private jet can be tracked. So someone on the app saw that he was flying into Georgia, and then he was at Augusta. So there's that. I hope Tiger does it, man. I think that would be awesome. I think. And here's another interesting story, and I think that'll take us up to the break list. I have some questions. Trevor Bauer, current Los Angeles Dodger Trevor Bauer, has filed a defamation lawsuit against The Athletic. He sued The Athletic and former reporter Molly Knight on Tuesday, accusing them of creating and spreading the false narrative that he had fractured a woman's skull during a sexual encounter. The 26-page complaint filed in U.S. District Court against the Athletic Media Company and Knight alleges 2 counts of defamation. A woman obtained a protection order against Bauer under California's Domestic Violence Protection Act last June as a result of an alleged assault that left the woman with severe physical and emotional pain, said Mark Gerlich, the woman's attorney. Los Angeles prosecutors in February said they decided not to charge Bauer, determining there was insufficient evidence to win a conviction. The Athletic reported last June 30th that there were signs of a basilar skull fracture, citing a declaration by the woman. The lawsuit says CAT scan results included in the medical records attached to the complainant's declaration and possessed by The Athletic definitively concluded that she had no acute fracture. Athletic spokesman Taylor Patterson said in an email, "We are aware of legal action taken by Trevor Bauer. We are confident in our reporting and plan to defend against the claim." Knight did not immediately respond to an email sent to an address on her website. She announced she was leaving The Athletic on July 30th, 2021. In a video posted on YouTube in February, Bauer said of the woman who obtained a protection order against him, the disturbing acts and conduct that she described simply did not occur. The lawsuit claims The Athletic and Knight defamed Bauer by creating and spreading the false narrative that Mr. Bauer fractured the complainant's skull. There was no basis for that assertion because the complainant's own medical records, which The Athletic possessed, showed that she had no such fracture. Nonetheless, consistent with their prior and subsequent expressions of animus toward Mr. Bauer, The Athletic and Ms. Knight publicized that false attack. Wow. So if that's true, that they lied, he's about to get paid. Here we go. What did that is something happened, but he didn't fracture his skull. And they went on and reported that anyway? Man, look. You're Trevor Bauer. You're suing everybody because everybody had him as being that guy that did something.
Yeah.
Julian is joining the stream along with magnificent Aphid. Necessary Buffalo is here too. Did I mention kind-hearted emu and permissible catfish? Animal Farm. Hey, yeah, man, that's it. The NFL has a new overtime rule. It's only going to work in the playoffs, and I just wish they would just make it the rule all the time and not just for the playoffs.
Just change it. Yeah.
Just change the damn rule.
Like, why only in the playoffs? Like, if the rule sucks enough to change it when the games really matter, then why not change it?
Just change it
for the rest of the season.
Those games don't. Well, see that then you're saying, and to me it sounds like they're saying regular season games don't really matter. If you get to the playoffs, well, that matters. Those regular season games are supposed to matter too.
Exactly.
On this date in 1820, like me neither. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of it at all. I don't like Roger Goodell either, but that's a different story. I hope no one here is related to Roger Goodell. On this date in 1822, what some may have viewed as a mistake, Florida became a U.S. territory. Woo! Just sweep the leg. That's Mario Sweep the Leg Smith. That's me. In 1992, The Silence of the Lambs sweeps the 54th Academy Awards with Best Picture, Best Actor, Anthony Hopkins, Best Actress, Jodie Foster, and Best Director, Jonathan Demme. In 1998, the whole company is purchased by German automaker BMW for $570 million. Man, we got that in our back pocket between me and you, Quiz. Born on this day, singer Celine Dion, who loves to punch herself square in her sternum, turned 50. She's only 54.
I know, isn't that weird? I thought she was older than that.
Well, as much as she punches herself in the chest, you'd think she was about to be out of here. Like she's resuscitating herself. Sweep the Leg Smith, baby. He's here all week. Sweep the Leg Smith. Singer Nora Jones is 43. Football player Richard Sherman is 34 years old today. Baseball player and knife and scissor enthusiast Chris Sale is 33 years old today. Whee! Miles Davis released Bitches Brew in 1970. Deep Purple's album Made in Japan is released in 1973. You saw Deep Purple recently. Oh, man, that was a good one. I need to write these jokes down.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I saw Deep Purple and everybody got pissed because after that first show they got COVID and they didn't play again.
Yeah, that's right. You mentioned that. That was the COVID show. Good thing you went. Right. Otherwise you'd be like, I hate Deep Purple with a deep purple passion. On this date, 1987, Berlin wins the Best Original Song Oscar for Take My Breath Away from the film Top Gun, starring Tom Cruise. I have a name for Tom Cruise, but I'm sure his name will pop up later. I'll just wait on that one. When we come back, we'll have our friend of mine story.
I don't know that I'm going to be back.
You'll be back. Something that you gotta come back. Something that will take you to your kitchen table or to the water cooler tomorrow. Oh, man, it's the driver, Mario Smith, here on Backchannel.tv. We'll be right back. Before we do the story, say hello to Wrong Pigeon Clock, who came back, and Tina. Welcome back, all. And thank you so much for being a part of whatever this was today here on the drive. Oh man, that was a good one. Thank you, Jonathan Glissmeyer. That was funny stuff there. Okay. Good news for coffee drinkers. Daily coffee may benefit the heart. Drinking coffee, particularly 2 to 3 cups a day, is not only associated with a lower risk of heart disease and dangerous heart rhythms, but also with living longer, according to new studies. These trends held true for both people with and without cardiovascular disease. Researchers said the analysis, the largest to look at coffee's potential role in heart disease and death, provide reassurance that coffee isn't tied to new or worsening heart disease and may actually be heart protective. Quote, because coffee can quicken heart rate, some people worry that drinking it could trigger or worsen certain heart issues. This is where general medical advice to stop drinking coffee may come from. But our data suggests that daily coffee intake shouldn't be discouraged, but rather included as a part of a healthy diet for people with and without heart disease, said Peter Kistler, MD, professor and head of arrhythmia research at the Alfred Hospital and Baker Heart Institute in Melbourne, Australia, and the study's senior author. We found coffee drinking had either a natural effect, meaning that it did no harm, or was associated with benefits to heart health. Kistler and his team used data from the UK Biobank, a large scale prospective database with health information from over 500,000 people who were followed for at least 10 years. If you're a coffee drinker, you should be encouraged. That's excellent news. And then the other one you get with you, and this is a really cool story, and I think that this should be encouraged because you never know who's in a uniform, who's working in your spot that may be super brilliant. On most days, Rob Kempton guards the many beautiful works on display at the Baltimore Museum of Art. He does this while I scroll. But this weekend, he's curating them. Kempton is one of 17 officers participating in Guarding the Art, an exhibition featuring 25 unique works selected by members of the BMA team. The exhibit, open from March 27th to July 10th, gives guests a glimpse into the world of art as seen by the guards who watch over it. The idea for the exhibit came from Amy Alias, one of the museum's trustees. A conversation with a friend led her to consider how the guards spend more time with art than anyone else, she told CNN. And so I went home at night and I thought, well, wouldn't it be interesting to hear from the guards about what pieces of work they find most meaningful? That is a brilliant idea. Kempton, who joined the BMA security team in 2016, jumped at the opportunity to participate. I had never been a security guard before, he told CNN, but working at the BMA, being surrounded by art, was something that struck me as important. In fact, his love of art has deepened so much that he got a degree in museum studies at Johns Hopkins University after joining the museum. Guarding the Art presented an opportunity to hone skills he had developed in his studies and learn real hands-on experience in the gallery, he said. The exhibit provides a fun and interesting perspective into the art world, but it's also very serious. Participating guards engaged in a 2-year process to select works, design the installation, create content for a catalog and other materials, and plan visitor tours and other public. What's most interesting is that through the pieces of art that are selected, you learn about the guards and why they collected them through the stories that they tell. The stories they tell that are attached to each piece, Elias said. Kempton chose 2 abstract paintings to include in the show: Grace Hardigan's Interior, The Creeks from 1957, and Alma Thomas's Evening Glow from 1972. I just love how it's such a confrontational painting, he said of Hardigan's piece. It's so large, I feel dwarfed by it when I look at it often. Kempton finds himself drawn to the rich opaque colors, really intense and improvisational palette knife scraping, he said. Alternately, Evening Glow is a painting that I knew well from working here, he said, and it was always a painting that I could return to and engage in. Kempton added that he wanted to highlight Alma Thomas, an under-recognized, under-acknowledged artist. Kempton often looks for opportunities to engage with visitors over their artwork. I always thought that these are the best moments to create conversation among visitors where we can have a commonality already, he said. I hope that visitors come away from this with a new experience and that they're sort of challenged and inspired by seeing such disparate objects in conversation with each other, he added. That is absolutely amazing. I mean, that would be a brilliant man. I wish I'd have thought of that. I could have curated that. Yeah, you know what? You never know where brilliant people are, and they could be security guards. They could be doing anything, and I think that is just absolutely dope. Nice one, Bliss. Good pickup. Hey, you came back, my man.
I'm back. Yeah,
I'm glad you came back. It's almost over, and
I'm kind of sad that it's almost over.
Yeah, me too, because we had fun today. I just ran away from the chat room, though. I should probably go back in there just to see what's going on. I've learned a lot. I've learned that Governor Gavin Newsom is in a cover band called Smush. And some of the other stuff that I can't remember that I learned, but I learned it. Present Guinea Pig is here. Decisive Rattlesnake, Carolyn, Candy. It does, doesn't it? Decisive. I'm a rattlesnake and I know what I'm going to do. I made up my mind.
I don't want to be anywhere near it.
No, me neither. It's decisive. And it's in California. Maybe it is one of the members of the cover band. Smush. Simple Crane is here too. Clock, Present Guinea Pig, everybody on the thing. Man. What a day. This has been a good one. Before we go, let's see here. Some interesting things. Onion ice cream. What's wrong with you? Onion ice cream. Savory ice cream flavors are always intriguing, whether it be everything bagel, crawfish, mac and cheese, or even Dan noodle inspired. Does onion ice cream take it a step too far? Food beast Chris came up with the idea during a Twitch stream, Mario, and found a pretty cool way to incorporate onions into ice cream and make it simple by using caramelized onions, food grade dry. Are you trying to kill someone? Heavy cream and condensed milk. He was able to make ice cream with the texture of ultra creamy soft serve, all in under an hour. Oh gosh. Pepsi and IHOP debut a maple syrup soda. What? I'm not reading that.
Make it easier for people to
be
as unhealthy as possible.
Hey, looking for liquid diabetes? Come on down. Hi, we're Pepsi.
Like a Carl's Jr. commercial where it's just like no shame at all. Just
no. Whoo-wee. Okay, the National Football League is considering launching its own streaming service in 2022. Okay, I can't take another one. Elon Musk said he is giving serious thought to creating a new social media platform. Please don't. According to a new study, 52% of Americans say that they've had COVID. The world's first space hotel is scheduled to open in 2027. It would be made up of 24 modules connected by elevator shafts to make a rotating wheel, simulating gravity towards the edges. Okay, Mario's saying hell no, because it sounds like space prison. I don't want no parts of it. There's no bar. It's not like being on the bridge of the Enterprise. This sounds like a trap. It's a trap. Interesting situation. Apple, the studio that produced Coda, which won Best Picture this year, has another movie in the ready to hype, Emancipation, starring Will Smith. Former President Trump issued a statement that he hit a hole-in-one in his golf club or at his golf club over the weekend. Who cares? Fox has chosen Kevin Burkhardt as Joe Buck's replacement in the broadcast booth. Questlove won the Oscar. Everybody knows that, but in case you didn't know, because Will Smith was just, working out his issue and slapping the crap out of people. The award that Chris Rock was presenting was for Questlove for Summer of Soul. If you haven't seen Summer of Soul or listened to the soundtrack yet, you owe it to yourself to do it. Brilliant movie. Congratulations to Amir for winning that award. Taylor Swift is going to give a commencement speech. What? And receive an honorary degree from New York University. Well, hell, I should do it. In Pennsylvania, the manager of a Denny's is being accused of embezzling $217,000 from the restaurant over a 9-month period. That's a lot of grand slams, and I would have said that even if it wasn't written down. We talked about Chris Rock already opening up his tour in Boston tonight. A mayor in Ukraine escaped assassination because he overslept and wasn't in the administration building when a Russian missile hit it. And real quick, because I know everybody wants to leave, did you know it takes 42 muscles in the human body to make a frown? 15% of truck owners have a name for their truck. You got a truck list? What's the name?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Listen to this. This should be like, married men are twice as likely to change their underwear every day than single men. I'm sorry. I'm changing mine every day. Thank you. I'm not a baby. What are you doing? Women think about grocery shopping about 5 times a day, while men think about it every other day. What was the one that I saw? Where is it? Oh, people are 78% more like, no, this is it. About 1 in 6 Americans call a tow truck every day. What? Who are these people that are calling a tow truck every day? What?
Maybe just get a bus pass or.
Man, maybe you should not be driving anything. You know what? Stay home. You should stay in bed with the people taking ivermectin. Everybody just stay home. All right, I got to get out of here. That's it. Yeah. I'm done all I can do. Mr. Glesmeyer, I will see you in a couple of days, sir.
All right. Have a good one.
Right on, man. Thank you. Talk to you in a bit. Thank you to everybody that checked us out today on the drive. Thank you to all of our passengers who are in our back room there. We really appreciate it. And thank you for watching. This ends our broadcast day. Join us tomorrow at 6 a.m. Eastern Time for Haley and Allison live from the United Kingdom. This show will be back on Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. On behalf of everyone at Backchannel.tv, thank you so much for checking out the show today. We'll see you guys on Friday. Have a great night. As the sun begins to set in the city of Chicago, I'm Mario Smith. Bye. Peace.